Hello, I'm Carol Williams in the Memphis market and I'm in charge of training. And I have three things today that I want to share with you. And the first one is that as you get into the real estate business new, it's tempting to be so enchanted by the freedom that you're offered because you're not in a 9-to-5 job where you're clocking in with somebody. And it's very tempting to waste some of your time and to let non-productive activities really take up your time. So I'm going to suggest to you that you treat your career like a business and plan and schedule everything, particularly your prospecting. If you don't put it on your calendar, it won't get done. Certainly you can schedule your family time and your activities around your loved ones, and those are as important as appointments. But your life will be a whole lot simpler if you get everything scheduled on your calendar. And the second thing I want to share with you is about learning. Never quit learning. Always sharpening your saw. And our business is really different from so many because everything changes so often. And we have so many learning opportunities. Once in a training class, I was always talking to the class about when they were going to prospect and how was their prospecting going and were they planning open houses. And a gentleman said to me that he thought he would just wait until he had completely learned everything he needed to know about the real estate business before he tried to work with any buyers and sellers. And I told him, well, you might as well quit now, because we learn something new with every transaction. And frankly, that's one of the things that makes Crye-Leike, or makes real estate, so interesting, is every transaction is different. All the buyers, all the sellers, little nuances that come up during the deal. And that's another reason you want to stay educated. Our business changes so often. You can take all the classes, of course, that are offered by Crye-Leike. We have free classes in our offices, but we also have a wonderful institute on our intranet. There are probably 100 free classes there. Certainly your GRI classes or your CRS classes, but the business changes, so never ever forget to sharpen your saw. And the third thing I want to share with you is what your role, your vitalness really is in the real estate business to buyers and sellers. You know, in the old days, you had to wait and drive around town to see when a sign went up, to see when a new property was available. Well, that's certainly not the case today. Buyers really don't need us to locate property. Your expertise for them is your knowledge of the transaction. Sellers have ways today to market their own properties, and yet again, for a seller, your value to them is your knowledge of the transaction. You want to be the neighborhood expert. You want to stay in touch with all the statistics so that they can look to you for how to sort through all the much information that's on the internet about maybe the value of their house, but they really don't know how to sort that out. And for buyers, certainly finding a property is not the problem, but how to make it a pleasant transaction. That's your value, I think, to buyers and sellers. So I hope you can take a couple of these points and enrich your experience with Crye-Leike and have a great year. Thank you.